This is the Washington Times front page for the final day of October, Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Israeli troops and tanks have pushed deeper into the Gaza Strip, closing in on the besieged Palestinian territory's main city. Guy Taylor reports Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows that the offensive will not let up. He brushed off calls to delay or scrub the operation to protect millions of Palestinian civilians trapped inside of Gaza. United Nations officials and local medical personnel say that Israeli airstrikes are too close to hospitals in and around Gaza City. Thousands of Palestinians are seeking shelter among the wounded in hospitals and in badly overcrowded schools. Israeli officials say their focus is on killing Hamas fighters and destroying the group's infrastructure, but warn that the militants have repeatedly employed human shields. The White House says it's trying to combat an alarming rise of antisemitic incidents at colleges and universities. Tom Howell reports Biden administration officials say they are coordinating with campus police agencies and accelerating the process for filing formal civil rights complaints as the FBI investigates weekend threats against Jewish students at Cornell University in New York. Campuses are at the epicenter of the nasty and potentially violent dispute over the Israel-Hamas conflict. That includes groups at Harvard and other institutions that have blamed Israel for the Hamas attacks. Illegal immigrants have jumped at a Department of Homeland Security offer to schedule their arrivals, but that has done little to tamp down the flow of people trying to enter the country illegally. Stephen Dinan reports actual illegal migration numbers show that Customs and Border Patrol recorded encounters of 3.2 million inadmissible migrants in fiscal year 2023. That was 5 times the number in 2020. The Border Patrol says it also detected record numbers of convicted criminals crossing the border in fiscal 2023. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will have to deal personally with those statistics on Tuesday when he joins FBI Director Christopher Wray for a hearing in the Senate. A trial in Colorado is testing the theory that Donald Trump should be blocked from 2024 election ballots in the state because of his actions after the 2020 election. Susan Ferricchio reports the trial is the first in a series of cases nationwide in which Trump opponents will try to keep him off of state ballots. They cite Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which disqualifies anyone who has rebelled against the U.S. government through an insurrection or aided America's enemies. A Minnesota court is scheduled to hear a similar case beginning Thursday, and lawsuits have also been filed in New Hampshire and Michigan. And finally, Chinese generals have taken aim at the U.S. military with warnings that foreign forces in a war to take Taiwan will be defeated. Bill Gertz and Andrew Salmon report one general said the Chinese army will show no mercy in dealing with attempts by the U.S. or Taiwanese forces to seek independence from the mainland. President Biden has said several times that the U.S. military would intervene to defend Taiwan against an attack by the Chinese military. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.